as we come down to enter the final chicane of the lap. And oh, his contact ahead. Webber's push button wide. He goes, cuts the corner. Oh, he comes wide and pushes us off. As the rainfall begins to get a little bit heavier as we head down into turn 8, and I almost lose it. Almost lose all the progress we made this race. Hello viewers and welcome to the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the Canadian Grand Prix. You join me in our last lap in Q3 as we head down into turn 1. Now Canada is a circuit that I do like. It's somewhere I've performed well on, no matter what the game, so I hope F1 2012 is no different as we head down into turns 3 and 4. It's one of many corner complexes where the first corner is very important to set up yourself for the next, as is the case as we head into 6 and 7. One that again is quite difficult to get right, but on this occasion it all goes well. Well, the hardest complex on the track in my opinion is 8 and 9. Normally I take a little bit too much entry into 8, ride the curb, either jump it or spin out, but on this occasion we get through as we head down to turn 10, and I'm just trying to get as much time as possible, and I think I push a little bit too hard and go deep into turn 10. We get a recover from the exit, but we're going to lose time all the way down the straight, and this is the only lap we can get in for the session. As we head down the Casino Straight, which I had to look up what it was called because I didn't know that straight had a name. But as we enter 12 and 13, of course, what kind of YouTuber would I be if I didn't mention the Wall of Champions on the right there? Will it claim any victims in the race today? Or tomorrow, I should say. We shall find out as we qualify P9, essentially best of the rest because the top 8 are only separated by 0.46 seconds. As we head to the race for the Canadian Grand Prix, our team are giving us the objective of 7th, so only 2 places ahead of where we start, as we head to the grid for the Canadian Grand Prix. Alonso on pole, ourselves in P9, and I believe our teammate in P13. Button just to the right of us in P8, and behind us is Bruno Senna as we head to 5 red lights for the Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go. Good initial start, but yet again as the season I haven't learned my lesson. I do enter the top gears a little bit too early as we head down the inside of Rosberg, and that was a cheeky move. I thought I was going to crash into him. Hamilton going wide and ceding the position to us. We're having a bit of a battle with Schumacher, who we go around the outside of and end up side by side with Grosjean, and he's going to come over to the left of us. He tries to defend, gives a little bit of tyre contact, and we're through. That was lucky, and we're going to go down the inside of Webber. Can we get P3 already at this point of the Grand Prix? Not quite. He's going to get ahead. The steering washes out just a little bit as we head down to turn 8. Grosjean just behind looking for a move. Webber ahead, can we get it done? And this is what I'm saying, I take a little bit too much entry onto the curb and launch ourselves over. That's going to leave us susceptible to an overtake from Grosjean, who's having a look now. He's going to look into the hairpin, doesn't quite want to go for the move just yet, bails out. So we're behind Webber as we exit turn 10 all the way down to the shallow right-hander of turn 11. And then the Casino Straight beyond. So a good opening lap for us. We've gone from P9 to P4, so we made 5 places as we come down to enter the final chicane of the lap. And oh, his contact ahead. Webber's gone into the back of Alonso, so that's going to give us P3 for the race. What a start for us in the first lap, gone from P9 to P3, 6 places made up. Wow. Can we be on the podium for 2 weeks running? Well, let's find out. Alonso ahead, and we're going to have to try and track him down. No pressure from the car behind just yet, so we've got a free rein to attack as we navigate ourselves through turn 3 and turn 4. Grosjean behind, looking to close the gap between us as we make our way down to the turn 6 and 7 complex. Go a little bit deep. You can use the curb here to straight line the exit. But as far as exits go, we've got a fairly decent one. Grosjean behind looking for a move, so we go around the outside, so we defend the inside. Can we hold on for now? Just about, yeah. Turns 8 and 9, this time we sort it out a little bit better. Rather than running over the curb and leaving us open for an attack, we can defend a little bit more down into turn 10. Grosjean can't get a move done on this occasion, but he will have the straight to try and put a move on us. As we exit turn 10 on our way down to turn 11, Grosjean is still behind and closing. He's going to look for a move down the inside of this. Ooh, there's no space down the inside there, so I'm not sure why he was looking, but he might go for a run as he is going to look for the move down the inside into the last chicane. We managed to hold him off. He backs out of the move because there was no room there for him. And for the time being, we hold on to the bottom step of the podium. DRS enabled this lap. Let's see if we can hold on to our position despite Grosjean behind having DRS. As we cut to a few corners later, we're not even going to be in a DRS zone, but I think Grosjean's going to get a move on us. Look at the closing speed. So he's going to go around the outside. Can we get the move back into 8? I don't think we can, as I bump the curb and I'm not going to quite get the exit I want. Race engineer giving us encouragement to try and get the place back, but unfortunately, due to us going over the curb, it's going to leave us open for Schumacher to have a little move. We give him space into turn 10. He's going to push us wide. We just about keep it away from the wall. We no longer have P4. And the pace difference between the Mercedes and ourselves is that we can't put a move around him. So are we going to lose any more positions at this race, as we have two McLarens behind us fighting for position? Hamilton trying to make a move on Button as we head down into turn 1. Schumacher just ahead. Can we close the distance? Maybe put a move on into turn 3. Let's find out. We're not currently under any pressure at the moment because Button's just finished his battle with Hamilton. So I imagine he's going to be fast approaching. So we need to close the gap as much as we can by the time we get to turn 8. Otherwise Button's going to have a look at us. As we head down into turn 6, we leave the entry a little bit late. Could use that curved straight line. Button has closed the gap. Is he going to be able to put a move on us down into turn 8? Let's have a look. He's looking down the inside, swings back to the outside. Will we cover it off on this occasion? But yet again, I used the curb too much and I've run off into the grass. That's going to leave us open for a move on from Button. Hamilton is very close behind, so if one gets through, the likelihood is both are, but they don't come down into turn 10 trying to get the position. I think they're saving the move for the DRS, which is going to be much easier considering the pace difference between our Force India and the top cars around us, as we saw in qualifying. Ourselves and Bruno Senna 1 second and 1/10 off the leader, I think it was, as we just about stop ourselves from crashing into the wall of champions, but we had to slow down, which is going to leave ourselves open for a move. Button looking round the outside into turn 1, but we just about cover it off. As we hear from our race engineer that Michael Schumacher is now running in the high revs in order to try and get a move. So we're able to hold in position in P5 for now, but let's see if we can hold it on for much longer. Well, by the time we get to the casino straight, Button has closed the distance, but we are on the inside, so we're able to defend into the final chicane. And with that defence, it allows Hamilton to go side by side with his teammate. So we're going to get a little bit of a brief reprieve from getting attacked from behind. As the next lap we come into the pits, no pit assist on F1 2012, so we're able to just head slamming straight into the pits, and it will do all the braking for you. It's cheated a little bit, I suppose, but just making use of what the game gives us as we head out back onto the track. And for the first time we see our teammate, who's up into P6 at the moment, but he is ahead, has yet to pit, so it gives us an opportunity to just turn the engine down and wait for the move to come to us as we go to the second lap of the pit stops. Let's see if we can regain our position. Yes, we can. P5 there. Can we get any more for any pitters? No, this is it. P5. We're back where we started. And as we hear, the car ahead with a puncture, so we are going to get P4, but unfortunately that it was a back marker at the puncture, so I was expecting to gain another position. It turned out to be, I think, one of the Caterhams, so a bit of a unfortunate radio message there as we head through the turns 8 and 9 once more. Hamilton has overtaken Button and he is absolutely flying through. Yes, almost gets a move down into turn 10 there, and a great run through 8 and 9, much better than ours. Up to close the gap, and I'm thinking at this point here, if he's got the pace difference through the corners, he's definitely going to have it through the straights here at Canada as he looks for a move down the inside, despite there not being any, so he's wasted his opportunity to get past by looking for a move that just wasn't there, as he weaves side by side to just try and find anything to get by at this point. So desperate is he to close up to those ahead. We hold position 4 now, but I don't think we're going to be able to do it for another lap as we head to turn 10 one lap later. Hamilton was within DRS range. I thought he's behind, but he gets an absolutely amazing run. No stopping him there. Look at the pace difference. And I'm just trying to get in his slipstream. Button trying to go around the outside. So that was a brave move from him. As a gap there was closing. I had no idea he was there. I was too busy focused on the car ahead. As we hear from our race engineer, that Button behind now has picked up front wing damage. So presumably that was from the contact with us. Not much I could have done about it though, which is because he was the one who ran into me. So we set intermediate tyres because the rain is forecast to drop, so I'm just informing to the pit crew that I want intermediates in the event of rain. I don't want to be caught slacking as we head through into turn 6, go very deep in, so we compromise our line into turn 7. So that is Hamilton completely in the distance. Button, with his damaged front wing, is charging for a move, looks down the outside of turn 8, we cover it off. Didn't expect him to back out though. I was expecting having to slow down even more to defend the position. He gets an absolutely amazing switchback on us. So he's going to go side by side into turn 10. We try and push him to the inside, but we have to give him room because he is there. So we're going to be a battle on the exits. Let's see if we can get the best one. He will have DRS, I think. I think he was the one who was behind at the DRS line. There he goes. He begins to make the move. Doesn't have DRS, and neither do I, which is a... I'm not sure what's happened, to be honest. One of us must have had it, but clearly Button, with his damaged front wing, not want to use it, but we can't get a position back. This Button begins to pull a little bit of a gap as we head down the straight into turn 1. He is running full rev, so let's see if we can close the distance as we head down into turn 1. A couple of laps later, then into turn 8, and I'm thinking at this point we're not going to catch Button up, but luckily Schumacher has an issue ahead, some kind of maybe brake failure, engine failure or something, so he's going slowly, allows us to get P6 and slows Button up crucially, so we can hopefully get a move on him. We'll have DRS at this point. If Schumacher wasn't there, we would not have had DRS, but he starts pulling a gap early on at the exit to turn 10, so we're going to have to try and make the time back on the straight. You see the closing distance with DRS open much quicker. We're not going to be able to get a move down into the chicane, but at least we're much closer for the second straight. The start-finish straight here after turn 13. We're behind Button. He's going to push us wide into the wall. Very close. We go down the inside into turn 1. Can we get the move done? There it is. We finally got the move. Button has no answer for it just yet, so we retain P5 for now. And we were very lucky there that Schumacher had the issue, which pushed Button back into us to allow us to make the overtake. But we're in the position again where we're on the straight. He's going to have DRS, goes flying by, but this time we're close enough where we're going to be able to mount some kind of comeback into the straight beyond. Here we are, we get a better exit than Button out of the chicane. We're going side by side once more. We're going to go down the inside previously like we did last lap. Push Button wide. He goes, cuts the corner. Oh, he comes wide and pushes us off. He should give the position back. He's cut the corner and smacked us going round. So Button, so eager to get the place back that he cuts the corner a little bit, rides the curb, drifts off, runs us wide I should say, and gives a little bit of contact as well. So angry I am to get the position back that I run deep into turn 6, compromise turn 7, and Button is away. So I think at this point I'm thinking that P6 is all we're going to achieve this race after contact like that as we head through to turn 10. Grosjean with an issue, so that's Schumacher and Grosjean with the same issue, which gives us P5 once again, but I'm still not happy that P4 is currently being occupied by Jenson Button, who I think gained position illegally as Grosjean gets DRS and comes back for a move. Luckily, he only catches up at the inside of the chicane, so we're able to defend by getting a little bit of a compromise line by running over the curbs, but most importantly, it's not cutting the track, so Grosjean is going to come back for another move. This is the last lap as we dip our tyres into the grass, so we run a little bit wide due to the fact that we had less grip on the tyres. As we're now on the final lap of this Grand Prix, can we close up to Button and try and get this position back that I believe he only got as he ran into the curb and pushed us wide as rain begins to fall. So we're going to begin to lose a little bit of grip as the rain begins to fall, only very lightly for now, but could get heavier as the final lap heads on. Button is far beyond in the distance at this point. I don't think we're going to get a move as the rainfall begins to get a little bit heavier as we head down into turn 8, and I almost lose all the progress we made this race from P9 to P5. Very close to binning it, and Grosjean gets has a look down the inside, pulls out very early. I imagine that's because he had that failure, perhaps it was a brake failure that was forcing him to go slowly into the corners. As yet again we save ourselves from binning it, Sebastian Vettel wins the race as we head down the Casino straight for the final time this race. Button ahead in the distance, no chance we're going to get him back at this point. The only thing we've got to do is worry about Grosjean, but with his failure I don't think he's going to be much of an issue. As we take a poor line through the final chicane, hitting the curb, we come through and we actually run out of fuel on the line. Grosjean was coming down, almost took the position, but fortunately we had just enough in the tank to get us home into P5. Objective P7, our teammate in P8. So not a bad points all for Force India this week. It's a shame we couldn't finish P4. I think would have been a respectable finish. Though I do believe Button has something to answer for the fact that he hit the curb and ran us wide. But at the end of the day, that's racing. It was good that we had a good fight with him today, and hopefully we'll have a good fight through the rest of the season. As we move up to 7th in the championship, so only 1 point behind what I now believe is going to be our target for the season of P6. Romain Grosjean occupying 1 point ahead, and Felipe Massa is 9 points behind. So that's the end of the standings for this race as we head back to the garage and we receive applause once again from our team, who are very happy with our performance, and I think we should be too. P5 at the end of a race where we qualified P9, we were that far behind the top 8 runners who are separated by 0.4 of a second essentially. So I think that's a good amount of progress for this season. So all that's left to say is thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. If you have any comments, please put them below for improvements of how I could do these videos. Hopefully you are seeing an increase in production on these. I'm trying to do my best to make sure that they are interesting. That's why we've skipped majority of qualifying and practice. I'll probably, if there's anything special, I'll show a highlight, but I'm not going to do anything but the final lap that we put in quali, even if it does mean that you lose a bit of the drama for the race. So to round up, put your constructive comments below. Have a wonderful day. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you in the next one. If not, no worries. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.